Welcome to the weekly wrap-up. I'm Elaine Stenson. I'm joined on the line now by Vladimir Vano, Head of Research and Chief Analyst with Sberbank Europe. Vladimir, can you start today by outlining the main events that shaped the financial week?
I think the spotlight returned to the Eurozone. We have opened the week with the news of the record victory of the German Christian Democrat Chancellor Angela Merkel, which means that the ongoing process of fiscal integration and, for example, introduction of the banking union in the Eurozone will push ahead as during the previous German government. So this was the major event at the opening of the week. But further on, we have seen quite a nice dose of further signals that put the expectations of the stabilization and recovery in the second half of this year on a broader basis. We have seen signals of the fifth consecutive month of improving German business confidence, as well as six-year high in the German consumer confidence, which suggests that the locomotive of the European economy will continue to pull the rest of the continent ahead in the second half of the year. Moreover, we have seen a fifth consecutive month of improvement in the Euro-wide economic sentiment index by Eurostat, which again is a very important and positive signal. So overall, the past week has brought, I would say, a dose of signals that could be labeled the very bright lights at the end of the tunnel of the sluggish development that we have seen over the past few years. Outside of Europe, the noteworthy signals come from the Japan, where it seems that the ultra-loose and really non-conventional policy of the Bank of Japan seems to be yielding first fruits, with the core inflation in Japan gradually accelerating to 0.8%, suggesting the country might get out of this double whammy of stagnation and deflation threat. This also contributed to.
We saw last week that tapering was not introduced by the Federal Reserve. Do you think that we still felt the effects this week?
Basically, the Fed just had to taper down the expectations of the market, given the very dramatic reaction of the yields, especially on the long end of the yield curve. On that note, we still do see gradual signs of recovery overseas. Anyway, from what we have seen this week was the highest euro-dollar exchange rate since early February, which was a reflection of all this positive news underlined by the decisive victory of Angela Merkel in Germany. But when it comes to the outlook for the monetary policy, for example, in the Eurozone, the ECB made it very clear repeatedly that the ultra-loose monetary policy will remain in place at least until the middle of 2014. I think over the past few weeks, we have seen also market scaling down the expectations about the timing of the end of the quantitative easing of US Fed.
And Vladimir, finally, what economic events will you be keeping an eye out for next week?
Basically, we'll need to the major event that could remove the remaining part of uncertainty surrounding the global markets could be the breakthrough with regards to the Syria political tension, which seems increasingly likely given the agreement between the UN and the major global players.
Vladimir, many thanks for joining us today, and that was your weekly wrap-up for this week. But do check back on Monday when we'll be looking at the week ahead. Have a great weekend.